All right, let's get into this. We've got a story about two rival goblin leaders, a mine that's literally falling apart, and a huge debate about the real cost of doing business. You know the one. Is it all about profit, or do the people and the future of the company actually matter?
So, picture this. We're high up on a rickety inspection platform in this massive mine. Trade Prince Gesiel, the new guy in charge, leans over to get a better look, and the railing he's holding just snaps off. For a split second, there's nothing between him and a fatal drop. Now, this wasn't some assassin's plot. Nope, it was something way more telling. The biggest threat in this mine isn't a hidden knife, it's just plain, simple neglect.
And that one moment, it perfectly sets the stage for the clash between our two main guys. You've got Gesiel, a brilliant engineer who thinks the true goblin way is all about smarts and invention. And on the other side, there's mine boss Noggenfogger, an alchemist who is absolutely obsessed with the bottom line, running his operation with a get it done, I don't care how attitude.
Yeah, that near-death experience wasn't some fluke. It was a giant, waving red flag, a symptom of a much deeper rot that's infected this entire operation. And Gesiel, with that engineer's eye of his, he starts seeing it everywhere he looks.
I mean, as Gesiel walks the mine floor, he sees the real human price of Noggenfogger's efficiency. You've got workers with these awful chemical burns on their hands, trying to hide them under bandages. The air is so thick with oily smoke that everyone has this nasty, hacking cough. There's scrap metal and broken parts all over the walkways, and the workers themselves, they look completely worn out, too afraid of the bosses to even say a word.
So, what's Noggenfogger's excuse for all this? Well, what's wild is he doesn't think he needs one. He's not hiding this stuff, he's practically proud of it. And this philosophy, it isn't just his idea, it's a hand-me-down from a pretty infamous character who basically wrote the book on goblin greed.
Right, so when Gesiel confronts him, Noggenfogger doesn't even blink. To him, fixing things is a waste of money. Safety checks, a luxury. The only number that matters is the one on the daily profit sheet. He's openly admitting his entire worldview is that results are the only thing that matters, period.
And this isn't just Noggenfogger's quirky idea. It's a whole system called the Galley-Wix method, named after a seriously corrupt former leader who was a master of exploitation. And let's be real, this is a playbook we've seen again and again in our own world. Cut corners, burn out your workforce, and treat both people and equipment like they're totally disposable, all for a quick buck.
But Gesiel, being an engineer, sees the huge, fatal flaw in all this. He basically says this whole method is a ticking time bomb. Every corner you cut just creates a bigger, more expensive problem later. You skip maintenance? Well, get ready for a massive breakdown that shuts down everything. You push your workers till they drop, you're going to get more accidents and sick days. Those profits are just an illusion, and they're being paid for by the slow, painful death of the whole operation.
But here's the thing. Gesiel doesn't just complain about the old way. He comes in with a totally different and frankly, much more powerful vision for how things should be done.
And this is his big mic drop moment. He tells Noggenfogger he's got it all wrong. He's confusing the greedy, corrupt style of one bad leader with the real goblin spirit. The true goblin method, Gesiel argues, isn't about grinding people into dust. It's about being clever, building amazing things, and forming strong partnerships.
And that brings us to what we can call the Gesiel method. And look, this isn't about being nice for the sake of being nice. It's about being smart. It's this simple but powerful idea that if you invest in your people and your equipment, you'll actually make more money in the long run. Happy, healthy workers are motivated workers. A well-oiled machine doesn't break down. It's a plan for long-term success, not short-term greed.
Gesiel's vision isn't just some vague idea either. He has a very clear blueprint. Pay people what they're worth. Promote the folks who actually care about doing a good job. Actually maintain your equipment and build alliances because you can't do it all alone. It's about creating a whole culture of excellence from the ground up.
Okay, but talk is cheap, right? Anybody can give a good speech. But nothing reveals who you really are like a crisis. And as if on cue, just as Gesiel is making his case, the biggest, most important machine in the entire mine decides to prove his point for him.
Kaboom! The Felsnacker 3000, this massive mining rig that's the heart of the whole operation. Its engine just blows. It's a total disaster. Smoke is everywhere, workers are hurt, and everything grinds to a halt. Every single warning Gesiel gave about neglect just came true in the loudest, most expensive way possible. So now we get the real test. Noggenfogger just stands there yelling orders. But Gesiel, he rolls up his sleeves. The top boss, the trade prince, gets down in the grease and oil himself.
In a genius move, he even asks Noggenfogger to use his famous shrinking potion so the mechanics can physically get inside the engine to fix it. He's not commanding them, he's working with them, as a team.
When one of the workers is shocked to see him helping, Gessel hits him with this line. He's taking a direct shot at the toxic boss versus worker culture they're all used to. He's not just fixing a machine here. He's showing them a whole new way to lead, a leader who serves the team, not just barks orders at them.
And watching all this, you can see a little switch flip in Noggenfogger's head. He takes his first real step toward changing. He sees the 4 guys who got hurt in the explosion and, without anyone telling him to, promises to personally use his alchemy skills to heal them. He even gives the whole crew paid time off. It's a small thing, but it's him finally taking some real, personal responsibility.
So the Felsquacker 3000 is humming along better than ever, and there's this new feeling of respect in the air. This one repair job just laid the foundation for a complete overhaul of how they do business.
Noggenfogger raises a good point. He says, if I start spending money on safety and better wages, my rivals are going to think I've gone soft and they'll eat me alive. Gessel has the perfect answer. An alliance. He offers Noggenfogger his protection. This gives Noggenfogger the security he needs to make these changes without fear, proving that working together is actually way more powerful than just being the most ruthless guy in the room.
You might be wondering, where did Gessel pick all this up? Well, he tells Noggenfogger a story about a job he did for the leader of the Horde, Thrall. Thrall didn't try to lowball him or tell him how to do his job. He came to Gessel, the expert, and simply asked for his help and respected the high price that came with it. And that simple act of respect, it made Gessel want to do the absolute best work of his life.
And really, that's what this whole story boils down to. 2 completely different ways to lead that you see everywhere. You've got the Gallowix method, leadership by fear. It works, kinda. You get people to do what you want to avoid getting in trouble. But it also creates resentment, and people will always cut corners. Then you have the Gessel method, leadership by respect. It doesn't demand loyalty, it earns it. And that inspires people to take pride in their work and strive for excellence.
And that leaves us with one final question that's way bigger than just this one goblin mine. It makes you ask yourself, what does real strength look like in any company, in any organization? Is it that tough guy image that's built on fear and burning people out? Or is it the kind of quiet, resilient strength that comes from investing in people, building things to last, and earning genuine respect?